Betsy from Cuttin Corners Vinyl, and I'm super excited to be introducing y'all to the 7 new colors from Specialty Materials DecoFilm Brilliant Chameleon line. Now, before we jump into it, I did want to say a big thank you to Specialty Materials for partnering with me on today's video. We're going to go over the new colors, the tech specs behind it, how to cut it, and how to apply it. So first off, we'll go over the new colors. So we have the Neon Rainbow Orange, the Neon Rainbow Yellow, the Neon Rainbow White, the Neon Rainbow Light Pink, the Neon Rainbow Purple, the Neon Rainbow Blue, and the Neon Rainbow Green. Now, you will get better close-ups of these when we go to do the application process. And if you see me looking down in this next part, I have my tech specs in front of me, and I want to make sure to give you the most correct information. So I'm going to read it off of their page. Now, the acceptable fabrics to use the Brilliant Chameleons are cotton, uncoated polyester, certain fabric blends, wool, linen. Do not put this on nylon. It will not go on nylon. Now, if you're unsure of what the fabric is or unsure of the fabric blend, I do recommend like cutting off a corner and testing it on the fabric in an inconspicuous area, such as like your bottom hem on the inside. Then that way, if something messes up, you cannot tell from the outside. Now, these are available in 19.5-inch widths, and you can get them at 15 foot, 30 foot, 45 foot, 60 foot, and 90 foot rolls. Now, a couple of things about the Brilliant Chameleons is the brilliant colors will not stretch, and the only way you can layer them is if they are the top layer. Now, these can be sublimated, and if you're interested in me doing a sublimation video on these, let me know in the comments down below. But to sublimate on these, you need to heat sublimation on top of the already pressed vinyl at 390 degrees for 30 seconds. And again, your paper settings may differ, but what that means is you're going to apply it, remove the protective color covering, take your sublimation sheet, put it over the top, and then it'll bond with the material. Now, when you go to cut this on a Cricut, you'd want to use the light cardstock material. Your pressure is going to be the default pressure, and your blade is the fine point blade. Now, again, depending on how old your blade is, you may need to adjust your settings accordingly. Now, for silhouette, you're going to use heat transfer smooth. The blade is going to be on 4, your speed at 8, and your force at 10. And if you're using a Graph Tech cutter, you're going to use the speed of 8 and the force of 24, and you use a 45-degree blade. Now, you're going to mirror your cut because it goes like you cut it from the back side and then it applies. You're going to want to heat it onto your garment at a temperature between 300 and 320 degrees. You're going to want a medium even pressure. You're going to apply it for 10 to 15 seconds. You'll peel your carrier sheet when it's warm. Now, when you go to wash this, you're going to wash inside out on gentle cycle with cool or warm water and line dry or air dry. So do not put these in the dryer, just to let you know. And as I said, for layering, it is layerable for the top layer only. So for today's tutorial, we're going to be applying all 7 colors. I have a ideal black t-shirt, and I'm also going to be using a piece of the Thermoflex Plus in white. Now, the file we are using is available on my Patreon page for my $4 or more a month patrons, but you can use this with whatever materials you want. Now, if you'll give me a moment to change the camera angle, we will go into how to make. So as you can see, I'm in Cricut Design Space, and this is our Be Kind file. Now, I already imported it in, and there are actually 2 different versions, one with a backing layer and one with just the rainbow layer by itself. So now I'm going to click on Make It, because this isn't a design tutorial, this is about the vinyl. Now, I am going to choose on the mat because these are not Cricut Smart materials. So we want to use it on the mat. Okay. It's going to take a second. Now, we do want to make sure we mirror all the pieces. Okay, there we go. And almost finished. This is going to be a lot to deal with. Okay, so there we go. So I think they're all, let's double check to make sure the mirror's on for all of it. And I always double check just to make sure because I have in the past not done it. Okay, so now I'm going to click on continue. It may take a moment. Okay, so we're going to go to our browse all materials. Now, if you have anything before like the maker, you do need to turn the dial on your Cricut, but if you don't, you can set the settings in the actual. Okay, so we need light cardstock. There we go. Click done. And I am going to set that to remember for all of it. Now I'm going to go ahead and send this to cut. We'll get this cut and I will show you. As you can see, I have my vinyl all cut. Now I'm going to take and weed this, which this stuff, like if you've got your settings correct, it weeds absolutely amazing. Cameron was helping me with it. Now I did weed all the other pieces already just to save some time. But I mean, it's actually getting the corner started is more of the hard part, but there we go. Okay, so as you can see, it really does. Okay. But I wanted you to see what it was like to actually weed it. Now, I did already apply the Thermaflex Plus layer because you've seen me apply Thermaflex a bajillion times. And I love it, but this is already going to take a little while because we have 7 colors to install. Now, one thing I will say is because these are more of a transparent film, once they're cut and it's not like the color on top of the color, it is a little bit more difficult to tell what colors it is, but I will show you a trick to be able to see it. Finish weeding this first. We're almost there. But yeah, I've just been in the mood to make sure to remind people to be kind. And it's also the, Thanksgiving month, so I feel like that's already on people's minds, November is one of the months where people are like, oh, let's post every day on Facebook what I'm thankful for, It is what it is, though. So, but we will probably apply multiple colors at the same time, just not all of the colors at once. Because I think, because of the way it's cut and how close things are together, I think it'll be a little bit more difficult to do it that way. But I'm trying to make sure you can see what I'm doing. And it's a little bit more difficult to do this on the heat press versus on my table, but I figured this would work okay. It's going slower than what I wanted, but it's okay. Okay. Let's set that to the side. Okie dokie. To save on time, I went ahead and applied several of the letters, but we're going to apply the rest. So this is our pink one, and it's easier to tell what color it is when you look at it from the back side, because part of the thing, and what I love so much about the Chameleons, is that it doesn't look the same until you actually apply it on something. So there's our orange layer, our blue layer, our purple layer. And it's, as I said, it's so funny because when you look at it one way, looks this color, and then when you look at it this way, it looks this color, and then it keeps changing. Now I gotta find where my other letter went. Hold on. Okay, I found my eye. I dropped it on the floor. So there we go. So now everything, all the letters are in place. Now doing this on camera, it's a little bit difficult to make sure everything's perfect, but it's pretty darn close. But we're gonna heat this on. The heat press is set to 315 degrees for 15 seconds. So we're gonna go for the full amount of time. But I do think that these look best layered or on a light colored shirt, in my personal opinion. But you can use these whichever way works best for you. Now I used a Teflon sheet. It helps protect not only my vinyl, but it also protects the heat press. So that way if something does mess up, it doesn't get stuck to the bottom of your heat press. There we go. Every cover sheet is now removed. I'm going to go ahead and repress it again. But I love, love, love this material. I love anything that has like that multi-chrome appearance. It's one of my favorite things in general. There we go. But look how cute this is. Now, whenever you really start to hold it up into the light, you can see, look at all those colors. You see how beautiful that is and how it transitions from one shade to the next. So I am extremely happy with how this came out. So hopefully you like this video. If you do, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I have specialty materials linked down below so you can order directly from them. But I guess that's it. So we shall see y'all later. Bye.